like it's, being single in your 30s is just it's a nightmare.
I just wanted to give you, I feel like it's your field, like it's your story, so I don't want to be the person that's like, we need to do this now.
No, we'll do
dating
now, and then break up later, which is typically how that happens.
I'd hope so. Break up first, date later.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
that's how you meet someone?
It's possible, I guess. You break up and you meet them that way? Interesting.
You're just like, nice to meet you, this isn't gonna work. We should go on a date.
Okay, so like the Hulu series that we're watching now. I knew you would like that. If you have, prior to all of this, if you have not watched Maggie on Hulu, I knew Stephanie would like it, and I was correct. So we will continue to watch that Girls' Night next week. Because it's really good. It has everything that I want it to have. Romance and psychics. Together creates a very interesting show.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's very creative.
Do you want to do the opening or should I, by the way?
You know what's really funny is that's a question that we constantly ask each other.
Oh, that's good.
If anything, I think actually
consistency is key.
Yeah. Do you want to do the opening or And I think that's like a tagline now.
Oh. Who never knows? You never know.
Listen, who knows what's going on with my hair?
Yeah,
never.
You've literally seen Stephanie's entire thing. I'm glad that we're a minute and 30 seconds in and we have not introduced the show.
Nothing. Okay, let's do it.
All right. Welcome to Chit Chats, a totally unedited space where we break the cycle of what it means to be a woman together.
We're talking about dating.
Stephanie's really been through it recently.
I am recently single. I'm 30 years old. I like long walks on the beach. This is actually just an infomercial for my dating profile, in case anyone sees this. No, you know what? Honestly, I will tell you, I'm in a place right now where I'd be open to dating the right person, but it just has not worked out. And I honestly will tell you that I think it's more important to date yourself before you really start dating other people. And that's not something that I did for pretty much 30 years of my life. I was like back-to-back relationships.
Well, that's what we're kind of taught in society is if you're not in a relationship, you are not worthy, which is false, but yeah.
Well, and two, I grew up Italian.
Yes.
So, at a very young age, you're taught how to cook, clean, maintain the house, and like the whole goal in life is to have a husband and pop out some kids.
Yeah. Same thing for Judaism.
So, kindred,
make more Jews.
So that kind of was my deal, my spiel, was do that. And then I would say as we're filming this, it was about 4 or 5 months ago, we'll talk about a little bit about that in the next episode. So stick around.
Stay tuned for that.
It'll be the void. Where are we?
I don't know.
Where am I? Emily, who are you? So we broke up. So I am single. Yes, train is back on the track.
That's okay.
I am single at the age of 30, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually focusing on myself, what I want, what I need, who I am. I mean, hence why.
And what you want.
All of the different hairstyles.
Maybe that's what it's been.
It's just been like, you'll start to see more consistency, I think, as we go along. Yeah. So let's get into the juice. Let's get into the real bread and butter.
Well, I think this is going to be interesting because I haven't dated anyone in 6 years since I met my husband. So
she's dated one.
I've dated one man for 6 years, and it's been Miguel Palacios, and that's it. Stephanie is coming at this from being newly single and now being on all of these apps that weren't even available 6 years ago to me. So I think that's going to be interesting because most people are probably kind of 50-50. They're either married or single.
And I deleted my apps.
I know you did. Proud of you for
because
that.
some beep
Yeah.
went down with someone I was talking to, and I was like, this is too much.
Can I give a really good story of those apps?
Yes.
So I was on one of those apps, right, for a long time, as most of us are. We're like trying to figure it out, swiping, we're seeing people we like. And I'm on it in college. I swipe this guy, we match, and then he messages me just this phrase, and it forever has stuck with me because it's just so good. You'll do. Period. That was it. And so, me being the feminist, I mean, just, have I never told you that story?
You have, but I forgot.
It's so good, right? You'll do. Thank you so much, sir. I really
Phenomenal.
appreciate that. Really good pickup line. If you're looking for one, you'll do. Perfect. You'll do.
That'll do, period.
Exactly. I think,
That'll do.
right? So what I said back to him was, oh my God, for the alien invasion, let me tell my parents and friends I'll be there soon. And then he never messaged me back, because being weird is a really good way to get creeps to get away from you.
Yeah.
He didn't want any of that weirdness. He just wanted somebody that was DTF. I know that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You up. I got my
Stephanie got a booty
first
call.
you up, which, to be fair,
You wanted. Maybe.
he's very attractive. But I constantly think of my self-esteem and my self-worth. And I'm like, unless he's willing to come to me,
But 4 a.m.
like 4 o'clock in the morning,
I'm sleeping.
I'm asleep.
I'm sleeping.
Midnight, maybe.
No, I'm still
4
sleeping.
a.m.
Grandma goes to sleep at
And I
9.
guarantee you, he texted
Many.
couple
Oh,
people
of
that.
course he did. But like, I don't know. What does it say about you that you're up at 4 a.m.? I don't know. I'd much rather be sleeping. Sleeping's one of my favorite things to do.
Let's talk about that.
Sleeping?
Sleeping with them on the first date.
Oh, that's
Do you think that changes things when you go on a date with someone and you mess around with them early on in the dating process? Do you think that changes things?
Okay, so from my perspective, I have never slept with somebody on the first date. I'll be totally honest. Kissing is good. I like a good kiss because it at least tells me if we're have chemistry.
Yeah.
But I've never slept with somebody on the first date. That was, I don't know. I can't kind of wrap my head around doing that, because I have to be really comfortable with somebody to
You have
take
to have
that
a connection.
step. Yeah, and also like for me to get to where I need to go, you know, I need,
Mental stimulation.
yeah, I need to know you, because I can't do, that's where my anxiety comes in. I'm like, you can't do that. But okay, so I guess I'll say this.
I'm trying to think.
When I was ready to, and actually ready, right? I had a really bad breakup. Once again, stay tuned. We'll talk about that next episode. I had a really bad breakup with a long-term boyfriend that I was living with, and then kind of really lost myself for 2 years, because that had been a year and a half of my life, and was dating, and then dated myself, found out the necessity of being alone in my early 20s to my mid 20s, and just kind of finding out what I wanted. Because honestly, I wasn't ready for marriage in my early 20s. I think I thought I was, but I wasn't. So after that relationship, I spent a good 2 years trying to find myself. Yes, I was like dating here and there, but they weren't really, anything. We were just, it would maybe be 3 weeks of something, and then it was nothing. But yeah, not fun. For me though, once I finally got to a place where I was like, I'm done doing this, going out with guys that aren't matching my values, aren't matching what I want, and finally putting what I want to the forefront, which is what I did when I met my husband. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. I was like, this is what I want. Are you going to meet me there? And we like asked all the hard questions on the first date. So when I was able to get there, for me, I didn't want to maybe push something too far too fast. So I definitely didn't like pursue anything sexually until further down the line in that relationship with my husband, because I wanted it first to be fundamental, because I was looking for a partner.
Right, a life partner.
Exactly.
I have come up against individuals who are looking for life partners, but then don't act like they're looking for life partners.
You gotta get them.
I don't understand. It's, as my one friend says, you're giving me a headache.
Yeah.
You're giving me a headache because you're saying one thing, but you're doing the opposite.
I just think that means that they actually haven't done the work. They want it, but they haven't done the work on themselves.
They're not ready.
Yeah.
Or but just say that. Like, so
but they don't know.
I will tell you. I did go on a date with a lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah.
Fabulous. It was a great date. She was so nice. We really hit it off. And I'm not in the mental space. My heart and my head are not in the space to pursue something serious.
But you knew it.
And I knew it. And I think I was convincing myself, because I was dating around and I was like, you know, I'm so used to being in relationships, but then I feel like I need to do some work on myself, but I'm open to the possibility, which equals confusion, which is not fair to anyone. And she texted me. She could pick up on it. She's intelligent. And she's like, hey, are you pulling away? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
for right now.
And I had planned on messaging her, and she just beat me to the punch. But that's also, I think, just like women in general. And I told her, I explained it to her, and she was really receptive and super sweet. But I made sure that I communicated very clearly what was happening to me.
But you were communicating with yourself too. So all of these guys that you're saying, right, that are like, oh, this is what I want. I don't think they've actually communicated with themselves, that they've done any self-work.
I've had them say that, like, oh, I just kind of push the emotions down and that's how I deal with it. And I'm like,
yeah, that means that they haven't done any they haven't done any self-work. You need to get, I keep saying this, and this is totally stolen, I steal it from Sex and the City, but you have to get men when their lights are on. They're like taxi cabs.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's actually ready, because I don't believe in soulmates. I'm going to say it right now. I know that a lot of people are like, I need to find no, I don't agree. I think that there are many people that you can end up with. It just depends on what person you want to match with that brings out the best side of you that you want. Because there's one person out there for, I mean, what an unattainable goal.
Yeah,
how unfair. So much pressure.
And I think that actually pushes people into toxic relationships.
Of course it does.
They'll stick around way longer than they should.
They're my soulmate.
So, but side note about the girl I went on a date with, she, woman, because I'm making a conscious effort.
I know,
I like to be labeled as
a woman. I get it.
She had already done the work on being single.
Yeah.
So she was like, I'm looking for a relationship.
And it's really important.
Tell just in the way that she held herself.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is phenomenal. And that is where I am hoping
to get
to. It's not there, but I'm getting there.
It is so pivotal to date yourself, to find out exactly what you want and what you're looking for in a partner. I mean, I recommend it to you all the time.
Yeah.
That 2 years that I was just kind of figuring everything out and dating here and there, I was living on my own. I was paying for everything for the first, like, I was figuring everything out. I was figuring out how to be adult Emily, which of course I'm still trying to figure out every day.
I don't think any adult actually knows what's going on.
Nobody does.
I think you pretty much are
just swimming in that pool of not knowing and just hoping that you're going in the right direction. Yeah, no, I totally agree. But yeah, date yourself before, because then you're self-assured, and then that person is going to be able to meet you where you are, and you're going to be able to meet them where they are. So I guess I want to kind of ask if you have any like very funny dating stories, because I will definitely share how I met Miguel, because it is very funny.
I dated a guy once. I went on a few dates with him. And I don't know why I continued to go on dates with him after the first date. He proceeded to, not tell me where we were going. So I was like, he's like, it's a surprise. And I'm like, all right.
A little mystery.
I'm cool.
A little
with
pasta with a side of mystery.
I mean, I'm in.
Yeah.
But then I'm wearing a dress, and he's like, oh, you're going to wear that? And I was like, yeah. Now, at this point, he could have just said to me, hey, listen, I think maybe throw on a pair of shorts.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is going to be active. He goes, okay, if you'll be comfortable in it.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, sir.
We were mini golfing, and I was in a maxi dress with like wedges, which, look, I can do it. I feel very confident in my skills, but like it was raining and it was dragging on the ground. It was a mess, so I had to like tie it up to the side, whatever.
Yeah, it was a mess.
He proceeded to the entire date talk about why Batman is his favorite superhero and why he relates so heavily to Batman. 2 hours of Batman.
Him and my brother would be best friends. Zachary is listening to this right now. Zachary, you better go find that man. That is your person.
That's your soul.
Yeah, that's your soulmate. Marguerite will have to make room.
2 hours. I said, he's not asked me a singular question
about myself.
And he said, gosh, this has been such a great date. I feel like I've never been able to like express this with, a person before. And like, this is the first, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, of course this is the first time, because I am not being intellectual, and I'm
just... You didn't ask anything about me.
Yeah, I could, but I was like focused on my golf game, and, I was looking around, and at a certain point it started to sound like, Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yeah.
Wah. But yeah, so I ended up going on 2 more dates with him afterwards.
Oh, wow. More Batman?
Oh.
A lot more Batman.
Yeah, he wore his Batman shirt the next one. I was like, oh
okay.
boy.
Wow.
So it was, to say the least, it was not the greatest date I've ever been on.
Not your cup of tea?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
Not my bat car. Not my bat cave. He did not get in.
Not your Batmobile.
Yeah, he did not. He did not make it to the bat cave.
That's okay.
So,
maybe you didn't deserve the bat cave.
He did not. He was Robin at best.
I mean, he would have done a really good role play, my guess.
I feel like he would have had a suit, and that makes me nervous.
I have a really great video of my brothers in masks, Batman masks. I'll have to show it to you. Okay. It's really good. So I'll share my story now of Miguel and I and how we met. So Miguel and I met, and some of you already know this, especially if we're friends or family, but I'll share it to the world. So Miguel and I met on OkCupid, and we were talking, and he was very artistic, and I liked that. And he was talking about how he wanted to like do graphic design and all of this stuff. And I was like, yeah, you should go and do that. So he took that as go F off. So he stopped talking to me. So 2 months go by. I haven't heard from him at all. I'm on one of the other dating sites. I'm swiping, and I see him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy was so cute with his little Star Trek shirt. I'm in. I'm gonna like him and see like what happens. So I super liked him, and he had super liked me. So we matched, and I was like, ooh, do I like remind him that we had met 2 months ago, or do I just kind of leave it? So we left it, but I think we both knew. We have that conversation still, and we were kind of talking. Then we talked for 2 weeks. We had exchanged phone numbers. We had talked on the phone, and at this point, I had been dating for 2 years. So I had gone on many dates. I had been stood up. I had met guys who didn't look like their pictures. I mean, I had run the gambit, really. So one of our phone conversations one night, I was like, listen, I just need you to be because he was ticking all my boxes. But I was like, I need you to be.
I've had a guy say that to me.
Oh, you're ticking all my boxes?
And then do the opposite.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I need to know if there is something wrong with you. I point blank asked that.
I don't listen. At this point, I get it.
I had nothing to lose, guys. Really. I mean, so I was just like, is there something wrong? Like, there has to be something wrong with you. He was like, no, nothing wrong. So I was like, amazing. I hope that's true. I liked him. I could feel something. We definitely connected on a lot of like our values and our morals and all of that. So we had decided to meet at a coffee shop, but that day I just was like, you know what? Let's meet at a bar. Let's get a drink. We'll hang out. It will be awesome. So I texted him. I was like, meet me at this bar. So he's running a little late. I'm like, okay, I'll grab a drink and then I'll meet you outside. We were texting. He was like, great, perfect. So I went inside, grabbed my drink, and come back out. And while I'm coming out of the door, he's going in. And I saw him with his hand all the way back like this. And I went, oh my God. And this is in my brain. I went, oh my God. He has broken his shoulder or dislocated it. And I'm going to have to take this stranger to the hospital. That's the initial thought that went through my brain.
That's
like,
immediate
OF, this has
catastrophizing.
happened. There is something wrong. Another one down the drain. So instead of saying like, what has happened to you? Are you okay? May I help you? The words out of my mouth, the first words I ever said to my husband in person when we met were, what the F happened to your hand? And I did not use F. I used the real word. And he was very calm. He was like, I'm going to get a drink and we're going to talk about it. And I said, okay. So then I go sit outside and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is another crazy person. This is going to be a really bad date. So I'm sitting, he comes outside, he brings his drink, he sits. I remember how the lights like shone on his face. We were sitting outside and they had all the porch lights and everything. And he sits down and he's like moving his hand and he goes, so I had a stroke when I was 3. And I immediately in my head went, oh my God, Emily, you're the worst person in the entire world.
Excuse me while I put on my clown makeup.
Yeah, really. You just made a fool of yourself. You just were very mean to somebody who has a problem. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And he was like, no, don't worry. I didn't tell you. So it's, don't worry about it. I don't usually like tell people. I kind of let them figure it out on their own. I was like, okay. And then the next thought in my head was, because I had just read I think You and Me, right? Me and You, whatever that book is, where she's taking care of the man who's, Amelia Clark was in the movie, and if her wardrobe, people want to give me her wardrobe from that movie, feel free, because it's my style. But she's in it, and she's taking care of the paraplegic guy. I forget the name of the book, though. But so I just read that book, I had just seen that movie, and in my head I went, is this going to be the thing that stops you from loving him? And then I also went, this is going to be the person that you marry. And I was like, whoa, hold on there. Put the brakes on, tiny voice and head. Put that on the back burner,
I've done
crazy.
That. And then he started dating someone else.
So but that's how
to be fair, I've done that with most individuals.
I
you put them on a pedestal.
Yeah, I had also done that with like all of my ex-boyfriends, which is why I was like, no, I'm not doing this again.
Maybe that was the difference, is the fact that you were able to like catch it and you weren't.
Oh, I was. No, I didn't go fully into it. I was like, no. And I remember the first time I told him I loved him too, I had a total panic attack. He told me I could not tell him back because I had had a bad experience with my ex-boyfriend of a year and a half. So I was like, I need to, we're a little over. Yeah, we'll finish it up here. But I had
lies. We're not at 23 because there's always the intro and the editing.
Oh, okay. So liar. I'm a liar. Liar, pantser on fire. Yeah, I had a huge panic attack. But
I've done that. I told a guy I loved him, and he said, "That's nice."
Oh, I'll share my story on my break.
That's nice.
Episode.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was like,
no, I told Miguel that I loved him in the hallway of the first place that we lived together, and I was taking laundry to our laundry room, and that's where I finally told him that I loved him for the first time. Because the first time he told me, panicked.
Let's finish up with first kiss.
Ooh. For just like
Where was your favorite first kiss?
I just need to give my first kiss story in general. Like
We'll talk. We should do that. Should be a
a
whole.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But where was my favorite place?
Yeah.
On a school bus. What about you?
It was really, really romantic.
Okay, give it to me.
I really don't know that like anything's gonna top this, but it might. Who knows? It was in the in airports where the two
Oh yeah.
thing the whatever the walkways.
Yeah.
It was he was on one walkway and I was on the other. I was picking him up, and we were on the phone. And then when we got off the phone, we met in the middle, and he said hi. I said hi. And I grabbed him and I kissed him.
Hi, buddy.
We've
Gracing
been
us
graced
with
with your presence.
Come here, baby.
Come here.
Oh.
Yes.
Thanks so much. I mean, how could you not love this guy?
This is the signifying the end of the episode.
Thanks,
He
buddy.
said it is time for you
It
to
is
stare
time
at my butthole.
Always. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This was fun and a fun way to go down memory lane for me.
I think so.
I'm excited to talk about breakups. I had a terrible breakup. You had
Yeah.
a terrible breakup.
Had a few terrible breakups. I've had some weird ones where I stuck around for 2 days, but we'll get into that on the next episode.
Time.
But listen, if you want to know when we upload, you should hit that notification bell. You should like, comment, subscribe, rate. Comment below your favorite dating story or dating nightmare.
Yeah.
And
remember, this helps us to grow so that
Yeah.
other people like you can enjoy our content. We're not just asking because we want you to like put some, what is the whole thing, put feathers in our hats or whatever.
No, we want to engage
Yeah,
and we want to get to know what it is that you like to see from us.
Exactly.
So on that note, check us out on our website.
www.cyclechats.com.
We have a blog. We have. I'm
All
so
of our
distracted
episodes
by this
beauty.
kitty
I know.
cat.
He's a
But yeah, we have a blog on there. We have our actual big podcast.
And all of our mini-series.
That's right, on there. And you can find us again, www.cyclechats.com.
And you can find us on Instagram at cyclechats, all lowercase, no space.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. And as always,
We hope you sync up with us next time.
Say bye-bye, squishy.
He said one more look.
Yes. One more look at that butthole. Please.
This was good. This is good.
Bye-bye, everyone.